Good morning. I'm Tristan Winder in the News Tube Alert Center with the Morning Pulse here on this April 3rd, 2026. Hopefully you're having a great day and ready for that also coveted weekend, Easter weekend as well. We begin today with firefighters now fully containing the latest and the last major wildfire in western Nebraska with the Ashby fire. It ignited last week and burnt more than 36,000 acres and is now fully contained. Officials have said that all 6 major fires across western Nebraska are now 100% full containment. And just into the News 2 newsroom, moments before we began this morning pulse, under the direction of the state of Nebraska, Rocky Mountain CIMT2 will transfer management responsibilities of the Ashby, Minor, and Cottonwood fires to local volunteer fire departments on Sunday, April 5th at 6 a.m. local. So the federal government moving out of this one and transferring control back to local officials this coming weekend. Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen has lifted the state's burn ban, saying that conditions have improved enough to reduce potential for drought-related emergencies. The ban was issued on March 13th and had been extended through the 10th of this month. However, several local fire departments saying that does not mean it is safe to burn everywhere. Departments including Maxwell, Sutherland, Brady, Paxton, and many others saying that they will not be issuing burn permits, citing heavy fuels and heavy fuel loads, dry grasses, and winds in the forecast. 2 wildfires burning in close proximity, the Cottonwood and Morrill fires, stretch crews across the region. In Sutherland, the volunteer fire chief says that even while firefighters were deployed, some still had to stay back at their department, not only to take incoming calls for emergencies for the district, but also to help their fleet, keeping their functioning order.
We had people that were not necessarily on the line the whole time. We had a crew at the station the whole time, coordinating, trying to balance the resources from, one fire to the next fire and make sure that we had guys swapped out and trying to get a little bit of rest. Nobody got much over that, few day period, but.
Red Willow County Western Rural Fire Department crews responded to a ditch fire north of McCook after a transformer on a power pole sparked flames. Officials say that passing motorists and the area's green wheat helped keep the fire from spreading, and the flames were put out before crews arrived on the scene. Firefighters are reminding people that the wildfire streak is not over and conditions can change promptly. Farmers and ranchers in South Dakota have loaded their trucks with hay to help farmers and ranchers impacted here by the historic wildfires in Nebraska. That includes one producer helping out who was born and raised here in the good life, saying that it's the least that he could do.
I'm from Nebraska. I was born and raised in Nebraska, and we moved up here about 3 years ago, and I'm just happy as could be to do this for my home state.
At least 22 trucks will make the 12-hour round trip from South Dakota over the next several days.
Well, hi there, everybody. Good morning to meteorologist Travis Klineski here on this Friday morning, April 3rd. Welcome in as we take a look at our forecast for today. Not the best of weather to start. Breezy winds and all kinds of stuff like that. We've got some minor moisture in a few spots here and there. So what do we have? So as of the time of this recording, which is at 7:17 in the morning, we've got some light rain and a mix of rain and snow over northwestern, north central portions of the area here. There are actually some thunder showers over northeast Nebraska this morning from Omaha to around Yankton, South Dakota, kind of this area here. And these areas we're going to have to watch today for a chance of rain and isolated thunderstorms. There's an area of low pressure here near Hill City, Kansas. There's actually another one up in Montana this morning, southeast Montana, which will approach us later today. So the big thing for most of us today is there's a lot of dry air coming in from the southwest. And so we will not get much moisture. It's going to be northern and eastern areas. I've talked about all week long, northern and eastern areas with the best chance of moisture. Breezy winds this morning, right there, but then some really strong winds right here. That's where your strongest winds are right now on the backside of that low, and that's where the strongest winds will be as the day goes on. So as we push things out here through the day today, Most of the moisture this morning will kind of wind down. Then we're focusing on eastern Nebraska for showers and isolated thunderstorms. There's our low pressure there near Marysville, Kansas by the noon hour. So showers and isolated thunderstorms, the severe weather threat mostly looks to be to our east. Meanwhile, there's kind of a divide right here, a surface trough here, and look at the winds. The winds are really going to be strong right in here, out of the west and the northwest. So breezy elsewhere, but windy right in here. It'll push it through the afternoon as the sun does work its way out. Now, eastern Nebraska may be still stuck under clouds, but more sunshine here. And look at these winds. This is where your strongest winds are going to be this afternoon. Then we get a little bit of wraparound moisture across northern Nebraska late today and into tonight in the form of mostly light snow. Shouldn't amount to much, but again, a little light snow. And look at those winds still blowing overnight tonight. There's midnight tonight. I'll take you into tomorrow morning. The snow moves on out. The clouds remain in northern Nebraska. Winds still quite blustery out there for your day. In fact, they're going to pick back up tomorrow. We're going to have some strong northwesterly winds for your day on Saturday. More sun the farther southwest you go. More clouds to the northeast. So cooler here, warmer here. Strong northwesterly winds that could gust over 30 miles per hour, maybe closer to 35 miles per hour. And then as we get into tomorrow night, the winds die down, the skies will clear out. A little bit of a chilly night out there. We're going to see chilly conditions heading into Easter Sunday morning, but Easter Sunday itself looks like it's going to be a really nice day out there for Easter Sunday. I'm going to interrupt my recording real quick here to talk to my director here. Dalton, we will not be doing a cut-in here, okay? No cut-in. All right, so let's take a look at our severe weather threat for today. And again, really it's off to the east. Most of us, no real threat of severe weather for today. But again, some isolated weaker thunder showers in eastern portions of Nebraska. We're actually seeing those develop already this morning here. But again, maybe some small hail with some of this activity here. The biggest threat for Nebraska, far southeast Nebraska, from Nebraska City to Pawnee County eastward here, a little bit of a chance of some severe weather. But the much bigger threat is going to be well to our east. In fact, we're going to take a look. I'll show you the regional map real quick here, if I can find it. And again, there is a bigger threat to our east and to our southeast, a slight risk, even an enhanced risk of severe storms over parts of Iowa and northern Missouri for today, southern Iowa, northern Missouri. But again, we won't have to deal with that for our area. Temperatures today, they're kind of all over the place. It's going to be pretty cool in northeast Nebraska in the upper 30s and lower 40s there. And then far southeast Nebraska, that's where it'll be a little bit warmer. That's what's setting the stage for that potential for severe weather around Falls City. And then southwest Nebraska, as the sun comes out, the temperatures will rise up into the 60s later on today. But as it warms up there in those locations, the threat for wildfires does actually return today. There is a red flag warning that's out late this morning and early this afternoon. That is for southwest Nebraska. It starts either late this morning or early this afternoon. It will continue until 8 o'clock this evening. So this includes communities or counties like Harlan County, Dawson, Gosper, Furnace County, southern Lincoln County, Hayes County, Frontier County, Red Willow County, Hitchcock County, Dundee, Chase, and Perkins County here on the Nebraska side of things. On the Kansas side of things, you have Phillips County and then areas west and southwest of there. So again, there is, even despite some rain, which some of these areas didn't get much rain there in the southwest, but despite some rain in some spots out there, there still is going to be a wildfire threat for today. Heading into tonight, we've got temperatures that are going to dip back into the mid to upper 20s and low 30s, so a bit of a chilly night ahead. Tomorrow's temperatures staying in the 40s in the northeast for highs, 60s in the southwest with 50s in between. So again, more clouds northeast, more sun southwest. Another chilly night tomorrow night in the upper 20s, mid to upper 20s and lower 30s. Then Sunday afternoon looks really nice. Easter Sunday afternoon, mid to upper 60s and lower 70s, maybe some mid 70s out there. So we've got a nice looking Easter on the way. The winds slightly breezy, lots of sunshine. Easter Sunday night into Monday morning, we'll drop back into the 30s for lows. Monday cooler. We're going to cool down behind a frontal boundary that's going to be pushing south that could actually bring a little bit of light moisture to the area here. So highs in the 40s and 50s, maybe still some 60s in the far south and southwest. So let's check out that long range forecast. And again, you see it, temperatures warming up on Sunday. Then some minimal moisture chances Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures cooling down on Monday. Then they start to come back up Tuesday and into Wednesday. And then Wednesday night into Thursday. That is where we have hope for maybe some better chances of moisture coming for the second half of next week. I think that's our next best chance of precipitation for the second half of next week. And we will cool down there on Thursday and beyond. It looks a little cooler heading into next weekend, but we'll take the cooler weather if we can get some more moisture coming to our area. Taking a look at North Platte. We've got the minor moisture chance this morning. I don't think it amounts to much. More sun later today. It's going to be quite windy later today here. It's going to be breezy this morning, but the winds will really crank up later today. We could see gusts up to 40 miles per hour in North Platte. A little windy again tomorrow, more sunshine though, and then not as windy and sunny skies on Sunday. A couple of colder nights, but again, a nice little warming trend into Sunday. Cooling down Monday, small chance of light rain or snow late Monday night to Tuesday morning. Tuesday into Wednesday, though, warming back up a bit before we have that moisture chance return Wednesday and into Thursday. Wednesday night and into Thursday, I should say. We do get that cooler air with it, but hopefully better chances of moisture down the road here. Again, we trend a little cooler towards the end of next week and into next weekend. But as of right now, the Climate Prediction Center says as we head into the middle part of April, we're still going to be near to a little bit above average, more than likely above average temperature-wise most of those days. But they do keep us in that above average precipitation category. In fact, they're sneaking in that third level of above average. So that's giving us even more promise for moisture now. The fourth level's up here in the Great Lakes here. So we're on the edge of that there. Maybe not as good of a chance to the northwest where we probably are most desperate for moisture in western Nebraska there. But hey, there's at least hope for some moisture down the road. So let's take a look at the European model. I'm going to have to go here shortly. There's today's system again, focused mostly to the north and to the east today and into tonight. That moves on out. So then we jump ahead to Monday. Monday and Tuesday, I mentioned the minor moisture here. Doesn't look like a whole lot though. So then we got to look towards Wednesday night into Thursday. Rain, and yes, there could be some snow off to the north and northwest again. That's just the time of the year. But maybe some more chances into next weekend. We'll see. In the vicinity, anyway. GFS gives us more promise than the European model does. So again, here's the GFS model. There's today's system. Most of the moisture, east and northern areas. And then to our north and east. But many of us will miss out. A little bit of that snow tonight. Then we jump ahead to Monday. Here's that front coming through. Minor rain and snow with that, but that's about it Monday and Tuesday. So then we look ahead towards Wednesday, especially Wednesday night, Thursday. Chances of moisture, but look at this. It continues to keep the moisture going into next weekend. So maybe some better chances of moisture down the road. All right. Well, that is all I have for you for today here. I do have to wrap things up since I have to still do some TV duties here in just a second. So thank you, everybody, for watching. I will be back with you on Monday morning. I hope you have a wonderful Easter weekend. Have a happy Easter, and I will see you all again on Monday. We'll talk to you later. Take care, and God bless.